And as a society of black voters, how do we get away from listening to Roland Martin and Charlemagne and Plies and D.L. Hughley and other people? And it's not an attack on these brothers. It's great. But guess what? I don't see y'all in the Capitol when there needs to be a piece of legislation passed. Right? I've seen Magic Johnson come and talk about issues that he's passionate about. I've seen Dan Marino come talk about issues he's passionate about, but I've never seen Plies in the Capitol. I've seen Al Sharpton and Ben Crump go outside and have press conferences in and out of the Capitol, but I've never seen them with a piece of legislation and say, hey, here's what the lawyers have came up with, and we've worked together to actually come up with a solution for this. You don't see that. So why are we listening to brothers in their cars talking about politics? Like, think about it, honestly. Tyrese even talking about politics doesn't even make sense. Do you think I want to hear from a brother that was struggling from child support on who he was voting for? You and I don't have the same issues. You may be a millionaire that's struggling. I may be on the bus. We have two different lifestyles, my brother. I don't want to hear from you about who you plan on voting for. Just encourage me to vote. But guess what? Even from the aspect of that, there are people in this bubble, this small circle, lobbyists like myself who work in this cipher and say, you know what? Why are these people that don't even work in the process out here pushing the narrative on what the scare tactics are to go vote? I shouldn't be scared to vote. Project 2025, they're going to take away Department of Education, the abortion issue. Guess what? I completely understand, but you have to talk to the issue, because after I heard my son's first heartbeat, it was on my wife to make that decision. I understand that's a decision between her and God that I would have to live with. It's her body, her choice. That's my decision. That's our family. But at the same time, you have to realize that after that child is born, I need to worry about the diapers and the babies and everything, the daycare and everything else to provide for that child, right? So the scare tactics that we're putting out there, I completely get it. I'm not being naive to them, but I'm also being conscious of the fact of, okay, well, what are we saying to the people that didn't go to college, that went to a trade school? What debt are we relieving for them? You're talking about giving homeowners $25,000 for what? Think about this. This shit really happens. The cost of lawn maintenance, pest control, your damn pipe break. You can't call no landlord to fix it. You are the landlord. Can they afford that? If they don't have the money to do it, what is the purpose of giving them this opportunity? You have to talk to the brass tacks issues, the pocketbook issues. That's how Obama won. We got away from that. And for 16 years, Democrats have sat there and seen it. And it's like, you know what? Well, hey, we're just going to run a person of color or somebody tied to Obama, and we're going to make it work. And we're going to chastise all the brothers who decide to vote for their own kind of freedom. They say it was 15%, 20%, whatever it is, of black men voted for Donald Trump. You didn't think these brothers thought about their family? I even saw a young lady post that even for diehard Democrat Republicans, and I did report on this in the data, saying, you know what, they were voting for Kamala because she was black. They understood what it was, but they had a different perception on how they want to vote as a family. And it was only people who want to just put on and be put on and get social media clicks on why they were telling they were voting for Trump. That's okay. We live in a society where monetization is through your ability to hold people for conversation, your time on a YouTube channel, whatever it may be. But all that put together, when you look at why Kamala Harris lost, yes, you can look at race politics, you can look at the sexism, but when you look at the base of it, if she had an answer to the pocketbook issues, well, Miss Harris, what are you doing for groceries and inflation? It's an issue. That's what people worry about. Well, guess what? I want to work to bring bananas back to 19 cents, and here's my plan. Here's what we're going to do to get there. Here's specifically how we're going to cut the price of bread and eggs and milk and diapers. Right? Because it's not just the impact on the family, it's the impact on the daycare owners, because they have to increase their prices. And guess what? You're not thinking about, okay, how do I balance this? If I'm trying to balance my budget and protect my family for everybody who doesn't have it, because people who have it, they're not struggling. Nobody's struggling. Nobody's putting a picture of their overdraft fee online, right? Everybody's celebrating the wins. So while they're celebrating the wins, guess what? Let's celebrate the wins and understand that I need to provide for my family. And if you can give me a solution on how to do that, I'm going to get up and go vote for you. But you didn't want to do that. Not you, Madam President, Vice President, you, the Democrats, the consultants, the people, they say like the black consultants, why are you just telling them, or these white consultants are just telling them to go to the churches and talk to the HBCUs and the links and the AKAs and the Deltines and the conferences, and let's go down and talk to the Qs at the clave, right? It's not white consultants telling them that. White consultants are they don't even know. They're still saying, what are HBOOs, right? H because, right? FAMUs, and the rest of these shits. You hear it. It's from black consultants. who shuck and jive to the Democrats and say, hey, this is what we need. We need a fish fry. We need to just go to the black church and talk to them on a Sunday because all the people in the black church, but these black pastors are pimps. Don't you see Bishop Paul Morton and the other bishop out of California beefing over their political decisions? And they're probably Republicans anyway, right? When you get down to it, I understand we get divisive, but as black people, we need better leaders in politics.